Hey there, everyone! If you're tuning in today, you're probably someone who cares deeply about staying healthy, vibrant, and sharp as you age. Maybe you're a senior yourself, or you're looking out for someone you love, a parent, a grandparent, or a friend. Either way, you're in the right place because today we're diving into a topic that's critical for anyone over 60, how to protect your brain and reduce your risk of stroke. You might be shocked to learn that in the United States, an older adult has a stroke every 10 minutes. That's a staggering number, and it's something we need to talk about. But what's even more surprising, and something you won't hear discussed nearly enough, is that some of the supplements you're taking every day, thinking they're helping you stay healthy, could actually be increasing your stroke risk. Yes, you heard that right. Some of the most common vitamins and supplements, ones you might have in your kitchen cabinet right now, could be silently raising your risk of a life-changing event like a stroke. And the worst part, most seniors, 99% of them, in fact, are completely unaware of this danger. Why? Because we've been told for years that vitamins are always good for us, that they're safe, and that popping a multivitamin or a specific supplement is a simple way to stay healthy. But the truth is, it's not that simple. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the top 6 supplements that research shows could increase your stroke risk, especially if taken incorrectly or in excess. We're going to break down why these supplements can be harmful, what warning signs to watch for, and, most importantly, what you can do instead to keep your brain and body thriving. Plus, we're going to focus on real, whole foods you can incorporate into your diet to get the nutrients you need without the risks. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's get started. And before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What supplements are you taking every morning? Share them below, and our team will be reading and responding with personalized advice to help you make the best choices for your health. Let's start with why this matters so much. Stroke is one of the leading causes of disability and death among seniors, and it's not just about genetics or eating too much junk food. While those things can play a role, research is now showing that vitamin overdoses, yes, taking too much of certain vitamins or the wrong forms, can significantly increase your risk. Some of these supplements can thicken your blood, raise harmful compounds in your body, alter blood flow, or even damage the delicate blood vessels in your brain. And here's the kicker: these effects can happen fast, sometimes within hours of taking a dose. Doctors in stroke centers across the country are now urging people over 60 to take a hard look at their supplement regimens, especially if they're experiencing early warning signs like sudden fatigue, dizziness, confusion, or blurred vision. These symptoms might not just be part of getting older. They could be red flags that your brain's blood flow is already compromised. The supplements we're going to talk about today aren't obscure. They're in your daily multivitamin, marketed as brain boosters or heart helpers, and some are even given to stroke survivors. But don't worry, we're not just here to scare you. We're going to arm you with the knowledge you need to make smarter choices, backed by real science. Every point we cover today is supported by research, and we'll include links to those studies in the description below so you can dig deeper if you want. So, let's get to it and unveil the top 6 supplements that could be subtly increasing your stroke risk, starting with number 6 and working our way up to the most surprising one of all. Coming in at number 6 is artificial vitamin E, often listed on supplement labels as del-alpha-tocopherol. Now, you've probably heard that vitamin E is great for your brain, skin, and heart. It's been marketed for years as a powerful antioxidant that can protect your cells and keep you youthful. But here's the unsettling truth: when vitamin E is taken in its synthetic form, especially in high doses, it can subtly increase your risk of a deadly brain hemorrhage. This isn't the natural vitamin E you get from foods like almonds or spinach. This is the synthetic version, diel-alpha tocopherol, which is found in most multivitamins marketed to seniors. Let's break down why this is a problem. Natural vitamin E, which you'll see listed as D-alpha tocopherol, comes with a whole family of compounds called tocopherols and tocotrienols. These work together in your body to reduce inflammation, protect your blood vessels, and regulate clotting. But synthetic vitamin E, it's a different story. Your body doesn't process it the same way, and it can actually block the absorption of those other beneficial forms of vitamin E that your brain desperately needs. This creates an imbalance that leaves your arteries more prone to inflammation, stiffness, and even clot formation. Even worse, synthetic vitamin E can thin your blood too much, which might sound harmless for a young, healthy person, but is a serious risk for seniors, especially if you're already taking blood thinners like aspirin, warfarin, or clopidogrel, or managing high blood pressure or cholesterol. A major study published in the British Medical Journal found that vitamin E supplementation increased the risk of hemorrhagic stroke by 22%. For seniors over 65, whose blood vessels are naturally more fragile with age, this risk can climb even higher. You might not even realize it's happening until subtle warning signs appear, like unexpected bruising, nosebleeds that won't stop, sudden lightheadedness, or blurred vision. In some cases, there's no warning at all, just a sudden blackout or a sharp pain in your head. That's why synthetic vitamin E is so dangerous. It builds up quietly, and in just a few days, it can shift from helpful to harmful, especially if you're dehydrated or have high blood pressure. So, what should you do instead? First, check your supplement labels. If you see diel-alpha tocopherol, it's synthetic, and you should consider stopping it. Instead, look for supplements labeled as D-alpha tocopherol with mixed tocopherols, which include gamma and delta tocopherols for full spectrum protection. Better yet, skip the supplements altogether and get your vitamin E from whole foods. Just 1 ounce of sunflower seeds gives you over 7 milligrams of vitamin E, and avocados, spinach, hazelnuts, and almonds are fantastic sources too. These foods provide the entire antioxidant matrix your body knows how to use, without the risks of synthetic versions. If you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before making any changes, but don't wait for symptoms to show up. Protecting the tiny, delicate blood vessels in your brain starts with eliminating hidden dangers like synthetic vitamin E. Moving on to number 5, we have vitamin A, specifically in the form of retinol or retinol palmitate. This one might catch you off guard, because vitamin A is often touted for supporting eye health and skin, especially for seniors. But high doses of synthetic vitamin A can silently narrow the blood vessels in your brain, increasing the risk of ischemic stroke and sudden spikes in blood pressure. You'll find retinol palmitate or retinol acetate in many multivitamins, as well as supplements marketed for eyes or skin. Here's the scary part: your body stores vitamin A in your liver, and once those levels get too high, damage can start without any obvious warning signs. This isn't the same as beta-carotene, the form of vitamin A you get from carrots or sweet potatoes, which your body regulates and converts only as needed. Synthetic vitamin A, on the other hand, keeps building up, especially in the brain where blood vessels are already small and sensitive. This excess can lead to oxidative stress, constrict microvessels, and even raise intracranial pressure. A 2014 study in the journal Stroke found that people with higher serum retinol levels were significantly more likely to have an ischemic stroke. Other research has linked long-term high doses of vitamin A to symptoms like headaches, nausea, double vision, and even seizures, all signs of increased pressure in the brain from compromised circulation. Seniors are especially vulnerable because, as we age, our liver's ability to filter out excess nutrients declines. This means even moderate daily doses of vitamin A can build up to toxic levels in weeks or months. And here's something you might not realize: you could be getting way more vitamin A than you think. If you eat liver, take cod liver oil, or consume fortified cereals or milk, you might be doubling or tripling the recommended intake without knowing it. So, what's the safer approach? Unless your doctor has diagnosed a specific vitamin A deficiency, avoid supplements that list retinol palmitate or retinol as the vitamin A source. Instead, focus on plant-based sources like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and butternut squash. These provide beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A only as needed and safely eliminates the rest. If you're taking vitamin A for eye health, consider switching to a supplement with beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, compounds that support vision without risking your brain's blood flow. If you've been taking synthetic vitamin A for more than 3 months, ask your doctor to check your blood levels and liver enzymes. Catching the buildup early makes it easier to reverse. By making this simple switch to whole foods, you could significantly reduce your stroke risk and keep your brain healthy. Now, let's talk about number 4, ginkgo biloba, especially in synthetic formulations or high doses. This one might surprise you because ginkgo biloba has been marketed for years as a natural brain booster for seniors, promising better memory, focus, and even protection against cognitive decline. But recent research paints a different picture. At high doses or in poorly regulated synthetic forms, ginkgo biloba can increase the risk of intracerebral hemorrhage and stroke, especially in people over 65 who are also taking blood thinners or blood pressure medications. Here's what's happening in your body. Ginkgo contains compounds called ginkgolides and bilobalides, which act as vasodilators and blood thinners. In small, controlled doses, these can improve blood flow, but in excess, or when combined with medications like aspirin, warfarin, or even NSAIDs like ibuprofen, these compounds can significantly increase the risk of uncontrollable bleeding in the brain's delicate blood vessels. Older adults are at higher risk because their artery walls are naturally thinner and plaque buildup is more common. A 2018 study in the journal Neurology found that high-dose ginkgo supplements were linked to a 38% higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke in people over 60. Even more concerning, a case report in the Journal of Geriatric Pharmacotherapy described a senior who took ginkgo biloba alongside low-dose aspirin and suffered spontaneous brain bleeding. This isn't just about the herb itself, it's about dosage, purity, and interactions. Many over-the-counter ginkgo products have inconsistent levels of active ingredients, and some are spiked with synthetic compounds to boost their effects, making it nearly impossible to know what you're actually taking. Symptoms of ginkgo-related complications can sneak up on you. Sudden dizziness, slurred speech, confusion, or a severe headache could be more than just side effects. They might signal a dangerous brain hemorrhage. So, what's the safe way forward? If you're taking ginkgo biloba, stop and check the label. Unless it clearly states the dosage and source, ideally standardized to 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones, don't trust it. Talk to your doctor about safer alternatives for memory support like low-dose omega-3s or citicoline. Even better, focus on natural ways to boost brain health, like eating beets or arugula, which improve nitric oxide levels and oxygen delivery to the brain's memory centers, like the hippocampus. These foods are far safer than risky herbal supplements and can make a real difference in keeping your mind sharp. Coming in at number 3 is vitamin B6, often taken in excess. This one might catch you by surprise because vitamin B6 is marketed as a safe, essential nutrient for boosting metabolism, brain health, and nerve function. You'll find it in multivitamins, energy drinks, fortified cereals, and even nerve-specific supplements. But here's the thing, 99% of seniors don't know that taking too much B6 can cause silent nervous system damage and unexpectedly raise your stroke risk, especially if you're taking it for a long time. Vitamin B6 is crucial for making neurotransmitters and metabolizing amino acids, but when you take more than 100 milligrams daily, especially in supplement form, it can become neurotoxic. As we age, our liver's ability to clear out excess water, soluble vitamins like B6 weakens, meaning it lingers in your bloodstream longer, damaging nerves, disrupting vascular tone, and increasing inflammation in your arteries. Studies have shown the risks clearly. A 2017 study in clinical nutrition followed over 5,000 seniors and found that high-dose B6 users were nearly twice as likely to develop sensory neuropathy, which causes tingling, numbness, and unsteady walking. Even more alarming, long-term B6 supplementation, especially when combined with other B vitamins, can paradoxically raise homocysteine levels in some people. Homocysteine is a harmful amino acid linked directly to arterial inflammation and stroke risk. Research in the journal Stroke showed that high homocysteine levels can stiffen brain arteries, increasing the chance of an ischemic stroke. Even if your blood pressure and cholesterol are normal, symptoms can hit suddenly. Tremors, numbness in your legs or feet, or lightheadedness when you stand up. The problem is, many seniors are overdosing without realizing it, especially if they're getting B6 from multiple sources like multivitamins, energy drinks, and fortified foods. You could easily be taking 200 to 300 milligrams a day, way above the safe limit of 50 to 100 milligrams. So, what can you do? Start by adding up your total B6 intake from all your supplements. Check the labels on every bottle. If you're exceeding 50 to 100 milligrams daily, you could be at risk. Ask your doctor for a homocysteine test, and if it's high, cut back on B6 and boost folate and B12 from foods like eggs, leafy greens, and fish. Avoid time-release B6 supplements as they can build up silently in your body. By making these changes, you can protect your nerves and blood vessels without the hidden dangers of excess B6. Now, we're at number 2. And it's a repeat offender's synthetic vitamin E, or D-alpha-tocopherol again. We mentioned it earlier, but it's so common and so risky that it deserves its own spot. Most seniors think vitamin E is a heart-healthy, brain-boosting antioxidant, and it's true that natural vitamin E can be beneficial. But the synthetic version, found in nearly all over the counter multivitamins, is a different beast. High doses of synthetic vitamin E can increase your risk of hemorrhagic stroke by more than 22%, according to the ATBC study, which tracked nearly 29,000 men. The risk is even higher for seniors taking blood thinners or aspirin, as synthetic vitamin E thins the blood and weakens clotting responses, raising the chance of internal bleeding in the brain. The problem lies in its composition. Synthetic vitamin E is just one compound, D-alpha-tocopherol, which crowds out the other beneficial forms of vitamin E your body needs, like gamma and delta tocopherols. This imbalance can weaken artery walls and increase bleeding risks, especially in older adults with naturally thinner blood vessels. Symptoms of a problem might include sudden paralysis, vision loss, severe headaches, or trouble speaking, signs that a hemorrhagic stroke may already be underway. The scary thing is, most seniors don't even know they're taking synthetic vitamin E because it's not always clearly labeled. If your supplement lists D-alpha-tocopherol, that's the synthetic form. Instead, look for D-alpha-tocopherol with mixed tocopherols, and keep your daily intake below 150 international units unless your doctor advises otherwise. If you're on blood thinners, avoid high-dose vitamin E supplements altogether. Focus on foods like avocados, spinach, almonds, and sunflower seeds, which provide natural, balanced vitamin E along with other nutrients that protect your blood vessels. These small changes can make a big difference in keeping your brain safe from the hidden risks of synthetic vitamin E. Finally, we've reached number 1, and it's a shocker: vitamin B12, specifically in the form of cyanocobalamin injections or high-dose supplements. Vitamin B12 is often called the ultimate brain vitamin, and for many seniors with a deficiency, it's absolutely essential. But here's the twist: the most common form, cyanocobalamin, can increase your stroke risk when taken in excess, especially in older adults. Cyanocobalamin is the cheapest and most widely used form of B12, found in thousands of multivitamins and injected in clinics worldwide. But it's not a form your body naturally uses. Your liver has to convert it into methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin to make it usable, and in the process it releases a tiny amount of cyanide. In young, healthy people, this isn't a big deal because the body can detoxify it. but in seniors with reduced liver or kidney function, this cyanide can build up, stressing blood vessels and impairing brain circulation. A 2020 study in the journal Stroke found that seniors with high B12 levels, especially those getting regular cyanocobalamin injections, were up to 3.5 times more likely to have an ischemic stroke, particularly if they were also taking high doses of folic acid. This combination can cause endothelial dysfunction and increase blood viscosity, making clots more likely. The symptoms can be subtle but serious: sudden confusion, one-sided weakness, facial drooping, vision changes, or lightheadedness after a B12 injection could be signs of a micro stroke or a full-blown ischemic event. If you have a true B12 deficiency, treatment is critical, but it needs to be done smartly. Opt for methylcobalamin, the active form of B12 that doesn't produce cyanide byproducts. It's more expensive, but it's far safer for long-term use. Unless your doctor has confirmed a deficiency through a blood test, avoid loading doses or high-dose pills above 1,000 micrograms. For general maintenance, 250 to 500 micrograms of methylcobalamin 2 or 3 times a week is usually enough. If you've been getting frequent B12 shots and have high blood pressure, thick blood, memory issues, or a history of stroke, ask your doctor to check your homocysteine levels. Elevated levels are a clear sign that your B12 processing needs adjustment. By choosing the right form and dose, you can support your brain without risking your health. So, here's the big takeaway: just because a vitamin is popular doesn't mean it's safe, especially after age 60. Stroke risk isn't just about diet or genetics. It's often about taking the wrong forms, doses, or combinations of supplements. The good news is that you have the power to make smarter choices. Focus on whole foods whenever possible: sunflower seeds, avocados, spinach, carrots, sweet potatoes, beets, arugula, eggs, and fish are all packed with the nutrients your brain needs without the risks of synthetic supplements. Always check your supplement labels, talk to your doctor about your regimen, and get your blood levels tested if you're concerned. Your brain's blood vessels are among the most delicate in your body, and protecting them starts with being informed. I'd love to hear from you now. Were you surprised by any of these vitamins? Are you taking any of them? And are you thinking about switching to a safer option? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and our team will respond with tailored advice to help you stay independent, vibrant, and sharp. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video, where we'll reveal the 7 supplement stacks that could be silently harming seniors. And one last thing: if you're with me and this information resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type DA. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one!